Hi, and welcome to this poster. I'm Amy Shepherd, the primary author, and I'm presenting this work on behalf of Dr. Emma Burrows, who is the principal investigator on this study. And so this work was part of a long-term part of my PhD, where we were really interested in characterizing the APP-PS1 mouse model of Alzheimer's disease, arguably one of the most well-characterized mouse models of Alzheimer's, using the touchscreen operand system. And we wanted to do this because we believed the touchscreen system would be more sensitive at picking up early deficits in these animals, as well as better recapitulating what we see in the clinic with patients. And so we've published a couple of studies previously showing that animals have increased perseveration on an attention task at about 11 months of age, as well as an extinction deficit at 16 months of age and a reversal deficit at about 2 years of age. And so this work here is really interested in looking at hippocampal dependent learning. And we're interested in that because hippocampal dependent changes are the first symptoms that you see in Alzheimer's disease patients. So we had two cohorts of these APP PS1 mice, and we put them through two touchscreen tasks. The first was this paired associate learning task, where at 8 to 10 months of age, wild type and APP PS1 mice were required to be able to learn a stimulus location association. So here is an example where this vertical line image is only correct in location 1, this image 2 only in location 2, and this image 3 in location 3. And they were randomized across every mouse. And so for a trial, and you can see a video here of this, animals are shown two images, one of which is in the correct location and one of which is in the incorrect location. Animals are only rewarded if they choose the image that is in its correct location. And so you can see that over 50 days of training, these animals are getting more and more accurate at choosing the correct image stimulus pair or image in that pair. But there is no difference in genotype across these animals. So this is this green and purple cohort, which we also tested on the tunnel task at 15 to 16 months of age, as well as a new cohort at 10 to 11 months of age on the trial unique non-matching location or place task. And so the way that this works is the animals are shown one square at the sample phase, they're required to touch it, turn back around, and then touch this new location. So they're required to non-match. And then we can make this more difficult by decreasing the separation level, so how many squares are in between the sample and choice phase. This is an example of separation level 1, there's one square between. And we can also increase the delay between sample and choice phase. And what we saw both in our 10 to 11 months of age and up to 16.5 months of age, where we have seen an extinction deficit previously, is that although all the animals show that at separation level 0 and at a 6-second delay, it's getting harder, indicating the task is working. This is regardless of genotype. So the APP-PS1 mice show similar changes to the wild type animals, indicating intact hippocampal dependent learning. And this was really surprising to us based on the human literature. And so after thinking for a while about why this may be the case, we thought about the computerized cognitive training literature known in human patients, where increased training on a particular area of cognition, say working memory, on one task can actually improve the performance of both older adults and patients with mild cognitive impairment across all working memory tasks. And so we hypothesized that may be the case here. And so we took our animals that had undergone the tunnel task and ran them through the Morris water maze alongside a cohort of behaviorally naive standard house mice. And so you can see the training here over the past 7 days. And when we calculated the area under the curve, we saw in both our wild type touchscreen trained animals here in blue and in our APP PS1 touchscreen trained animals here in red, we're seeing a smaller area under the curve, indicating a faster acquisition of where that hidden platform is and better performance. And we hypothesize that this may be due to enhanced hippocampal neurogenesis. Now, unfortunately, we hadn't injected these animals with BRDU, so we can only look at proxy markers. And so we decided to go with Ki67, this marker of proliferation of proliferating cells, as well as double cortin, a marker of immature neurons. And you can see both in the wild type and APPPS1 animals, we're seeing higher levels of Ki67 as well as higher levels of double cortin, indicating that there are increased neuronal numbers, immature neurons, and increased proliferation. And this is a really, really important finding for the touchscreen field to take into account that when we're testing animals for a long time, that we are actually changing the brains of our animals. So thank you for coming. Please feel free to chat to us using the chat function or to email us or hit us up on Twitter on these emails and Twitter handles. Thanks so much for coming.